Hey guys, today I'm going to go over how to factor out the greatest common factor. Okay, so we use this when we're factoring polynomials. So the first thing we should do is identify your smallest coefficient. It should be greater than 1. And you can also identify if each variable has the same term. So do you see an x in all of the terms? Or is your smallest coefficient, which is your big number out front, is that bigger than 1? Then you want to list the factors of the coefficients and then write any pairs outside the parentheses, and you'll see what that looks like. So let's go ahead and take a look at this first example. Now, our smallest coefficient here is a -3. And notice that they don't all have x's on them. So we want to list the factors of -3. So I'll go 1 times -3, and then I'll see if I can make a -3 from 15. So in order to make a -3 from 15, we have to do -3 times -5. Okay, so, and then we have 1x here on this first term. So notice we have in common a -3, so we can pull out a -3, and that goes out front. Anything that is a pair goes out front. And then whatever you have left goes inside. So we have a -5x and a +1. So we have -5x plus 1. Okay. Now, because it's a negative number there's another way to do it. We don't have to pull the negative out front. So another option to do this one, we have 15x minus 3. We could do 3 times -1, and then 3 times 5 with 1x. And then we can take the 3 out front, and then you have a 5x minus 1 left on the inside. So both options are correct. Now for this next question, for this next example, we're going to look for our smallest coefficient, and that is 4. So I'm going to list the factors of 4. That's 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. And then we have 1x over here. Now I want to see, does 4 divide by 12 and 24? And if it doesn't, then I'm going to go down to the next smallest factor, which is 2. And I try to start at the biggest one and work my way down. So I'm going to try 4 divided by 12, which gives us 3. So I have 4 times 3 with 4 x's. And then 4 divided by -24 is -6. So we have 4 times -6 with 3 x's. So we end up using the 1 times 4 factor. So I'm going to cross off the 2 times 2 factor. Now we're going to look for pairs that we can take out to the front. So we have a 4 on each of them. So we can put a 4 out front. And then we have 1x on each of these. So we could take that out front. And what we have left here, we have a 3 and 3 x's, a -6 and 2 x's, and a 1. So that gives us 3x cubed minus 6x squared plus 1. Okay, so basically we just divided 4x by each of these terms, but writing it out in your factors makes it a little bit easier to see. Okay, let's try this next one here. Notice we have a's, b's, and c's. So first we're going to look for our smallest coefficient. Notice we don't have one, so that means we have an invisible 1 here. So we're really looking at, is there a's, b's, and c's that we can take out? Because we're not going to take out any of the coefficients. So I would just like to write them out like I have 2 a's, 4 b's, 1 c here. Then we have a -18. I got 1 a, 1 b, and 3 c's here. Okay, so we're looking for what we have as pairs to take out to the front. So I have an a on each term, so I could take one of those out to the front. I have 1 b on each term, so I could take a b out to the front. And I have 1 c on each of these, so I could take a c out. Now we're just going to write what we have left in here. So we have 1a, 3 b's. So ab to the power of 3 minus 18 and 2c's. Okay, easy enough. So I want you guys to go ahead and pause the video and try to do the GCF on this 9x squared plus 66x plus 21. Now go ahead and check your work with me. I took out a 3 from all 3 of the terms, and this is what I had left.